أن تؤيد نظرية التطور فأنت ملحد. لنترك الأخت الملحدة المسلمة الدكتورة رنا الدجاني تعلم أخانا هيثم شيئا من العلم، ونختم بذلك الفيديو.
Evolution, biological evolution in particular, is actually a fact. It has been proven by science, using the scientific methodology, using experiments and different forms of evidence that throughout history of the Earth, organisms have evolved from a very simple beginning to the complexity we see today and diversity we see today. And evolution is actually happening as we speak now, in different species and different places all over Earth. So it is a fact. It's not a theory, because usually a theory is something you test and you try. It may be correct, it may not be correct, until it is proven. But also we have to take into consideration science is always changing. So what we know today, in the circumstances today, in the scientific methodology today, evolution is a fact. But we don't know what new discoveries may come in the future to evolve our understanding of the process of evolution and the different mechanisms that are in place to explain the diversity in biology. So the evidence from the world around us has proven that evolution, biological evolution, is a fact. It's happening all the time. And we have, as scientists, we come up with different proposals to explain the mechanisms behind the processes and the facts that we see. These processes, these mechanisms that we propose may be valid today within the evidence we have, but they may also change, develop according to any new evidence that we may encounter. Similar to any model that scientists propose to explain a physical or biological phenomena that we actually can see and measure using the tools of science that we have today. So in the past, the evidence that was available among scientists was either fossil evidence or morphological evidence or embryology. These were our sources of evidence to prove that evolution is a fact and it's actually happening. But even these sources of evidence are sometimes not complete, like the fossil evidence, and people sometimes use that as in an argument against the fact of evolution. But now, with the advancement of molecular biology and genetics and the discovery of the DNA and all the following fields that have been opened up, we now have between our hands the absolute evidence that evolution is a fact and it's happening now. And this evidence is actually inherent in the DNA that makes up all living organisms. So every organism, from as simple as a bacteria or a virus to as complex as a human being, are made from the fundamental molecule, which is DNA, made of 4 nucleotides, C, T, G, A, and these sequences of nucleotides contain inside them all the information that is needed to create any organism that we exist now or has existed in the past. Now, when you look at the evidence that shows that all these organisms in their extreme diversity, that they come from one origin, you compare the similarity in the sequence of a particular protein in different organisms. So, for example, we can take a protein like cytochrome C in a human and compare it to that in a primate, or compare it into a mouse, or in a frog, or in a plant, or even in bacteria. We find that the similarity is very, very much. There are certain areas that are very much conserved among the species, and this is proof that we all originated from one simple origin, and that each line of organism developed according to the environment around it, so that it can survive, future generations can survive better in this new environment. But that's the ultimate evidence.